What's going on, y'all? It is Cop Pizzle. Before I get started in this video, man, I've got to give a huge shout out to Peter Rodriguez. Um, he gave me an unbelievable tip slash donation um, that just it humbles me anytime anybody gives me $1. And for him to send what he sent was unbelievable. And so, as a self-made man and as a 60-minute man, I understand the value of $1. I've done anything that you can imagine under the sun to earn a buck, and I'm just grateful and appreciative, and it just humbles me tremendously when anybody shares their money with me. And so, I just wanted to give a big thanks to him, especially with the the times being as tough as they are. And so I hope, Peter, you continue to enjoy the content um, as much as I enjoy putting it out there for you guys. And look, I make no secret about it. I'm super passionate about many different topics when it comes to the Giants, and I try to be truthful. I don't think there's anybody on YouTube that's making this kind of content that is more truthful than Pizzle, because you know I'll come out and say what I feel. There's so many people that dance around that idea of like I can guarantee you there's a stack of guys that actually believe the Giants can make the playoffs, but they're so afraid to look bad in the eyes of all you guys that they won't say it. They're just terrified to come off as wrong. When I understand it's okay to be wrong, it's okay to lose, it's okay to fall off the horse. As long as you get back up and you try again, that's all that fucking matters. That's it. It doesn't. You can have all the takes you want as long as you're willing to own up to them. That's all that matters. That's all that fucking matters. And guys, the next time you're on the fucking toilet, please give New York Revival a look as well. They make some great New York Giants content for when you're sitting on the toilet. Give them a check out the next time you're squatting for 30 minutes and have a look at what they got going on. So, you know, I wanted to talk about Saquon Barkley. As a fan base, we're so I mean, we're back and forth with Daniel Jones, right? Is he or is he not? And so, but what's interesting is while we all have our eyes on Daniel Jones, we've kind of left this little Saquon Barkley off to the side and not really said anything about it because let's be honest, he's borderline on discussion of bust. I know there's the guys out there that were calling him a generational talent. They don't want to step forward right now, but the reality is he's on the cusp of being called a bust. Now, look, I make no secret about it. I wanted Saquon Barkley when we picked him at number 2. There are guys out here, believe it or not, that will tell you that they didn't, and it's always it makes me so mad when I see a content creator come out and say, "Oh, yeah, I don't have any video evidence, but I didn't want him at 2." It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But look, I want Saquon Barkley to continue to be a part of this organization for the next 5, 7 years. As long as he can be a running back in the National Football League. I am always going to be a guy, even though the Giants are transitioning to probably this pass first offense or Kansas City style offense. I am always going to be a guy that appreciates the run game. OJ Anderson, fucking Tiki Barber, Tyrone Whitley. Uh, I loved Ron Dane. I mean, Rodney Hampton. I mean, give the rock to Charles Way. I mean, guys, I loved watching the Giants run the football through the years. I'm always going to be a guy at heart that's run the ball, play good defense. That's just who I am, and that's who I always will be. I mean, you know, I'll never go goo goo ooh and ah over a fucking pass offense. I just never will. I'll always appreciate the games where a running back goes for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns and whatever, how many carries. I mean, that's just who I am. That's what I am. Okay, so I'm always gonna have a soft spot in my heart for the running back or the running game in general. That's always who I'm gonna be. So I want to see Saquon Barkley succeed. That was what got me going for him coming being a part of this team was, man, we could have this crazy special running back. I was always jealous that the Chargers had a guy like LaDainian Tomlinson, or when Adrian Peterson was in his prime. I mean, it just looked like it was so much fun to have a great running back like that, a top three running back in the league that's just special. That always looked fun to me from as a fan. I used to, and back in the day when Tiki Barber was running wild, I used to always tell everybody that, of course, that was social media wasn't really a thing back in that time. So I was telling people in school, trying to tell everyone how great Tiki Barber was, and they're all like, "Oh, fuck yeah, whatever," But I loved his game, and so I've always missed having a guy like Tiki who could do everything: run the ball, catch the ball out of the backfield, all-purpose yardage. And so Saquon, it felt like we had that again. Even back in the day with Brandon or I say back in the day like it was 30 years ago, but Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw, these guys were pounding the rock, right? But it wasn't they didn't have this huge focal point of catching the ball out of the backfield. They did a good job when their time came, but not compared to like Tiki, right? And so I kind of thought that that's what we were getting with Saquon was this crazy, this special talent. And look, he's came out recently, talked about his confidence level was down. And I will say that in OTAs this summer, it does look like we're getting a different Saquon Barkley than we ever have before. And I hope this isn't an Evan Ingram situation again, because that obviously makes me nervous. We know what happened with Evan Ingram, where he looked great in shorts, but when the season was going on, he was terrible. Um, no, and Giant fans are so they kill me because like they always gave a guy like Evan Ingram a pass every damn. But like Darius Slayton, who I love, everyone knows this, and I still think is going to be a great guy for this offense. He's dropped one big pass for Washington. There's guys on Twitter that still to this day have not let that go. But these are the same guys that kept hyping up Evan Ingram every fucking damn year. And to me, it's crazy how you pick and choose who you think's good and who you think's bad. It's crazy to me, but nevertheless, Saquon, look, and he rightfully so has a confidence problem. He had a knee issue, right? I mean, he had the ACL, so I mean, like I understand that from a health standpoint. He had a terrible offensive line in front of him, which might have led to all the dancing and shit instead of just hitting the hole. He's had coaches, giving these dumb rah rah speeches that didn't mean anything, and so I could see where he's coming from as from a human level, right? Forget the fan in me, just from a human level. Like I completely understand what you're saying, Saquon. I think that Daniel Jones could use those same excuses and say those same things, but he really doesn't say because he's had injury issues. He's had moments where he got hurt because his team kind of let him down and let him get popped a few good times, or he was trying to do too much, which we could argue that Saquon's been trying to do too much. Uh, Daniel's had those same dumb coaches and that terrible offensive line. But so you could argue that Daniel, albeit maybe not coming out and say it, maybe he had a confidence problem, right? So it's fair for these guys to have this, and hopefully this new staff and this new approach is going to build up these guys' confidence so they can play to the level that I think some of us hoped that they would play at. And so what's interesting is, and I say all this because I think a lot of people pin this as like, oh, this is a make it or break year for Daniel Jones. To me, you have to say the same thing about Saquon Barkley. It's either this is going to something that's going to continue and a relationship's going to continue to last, or this is fucking it. I mean, how much, you know what I'm saying? It's either boom or bust. Saquon's going to either be special or he's going to be labeled a bust after the end of this year. Some probably already label him that, but I'm saying that's, to me, this is the nail in the coffin on if you're going to be labeled that or not. And to me, that's a storyline that's interesting to me. because this huge shadow of Daniel Jones kind of, you know, is over Saquon, and we don't talk about Saquon. We don't even mention him up. But I will say, I think he's looked different. He's looked more like his old self in this summer from what I've seen. And so obviously training camp into July and then preseason. I don't expect to see a lot of Saquon in preseason, but to me, this is a big year for Saquon Barkley. This is a huge year. This is a make it or break it year. And so I just I want fans to just be fair with players from a fan standpoint. I want these guys to just be truthful and be honest and say, look, can the Giants make the playoffs? I truly believe it. Yes. I'm not going to worry about what other people think, all these subscribers, and like just come out and say it. Stop, come out and say Saquon Barkley needs to make it or fucking break it this year. Like he needs to. It's boom or bust. I don't care about what popular opinion says. I don't care what I'm giving you my opinion. This is Pizzle's opinion. Take it or leave it. Right? I mean, that's what you subscribed for. Surely you didn't subscribe just for me just being mad about on a post game video. Surely you came and said this is a passionate fan that has true authentic feelings. And that's what I'm subscribing to. That's what he's given me. No one liked me.